Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we're going to be previewing the Houston Texans' third and final preseason game today, where the Houston Texans play the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. This game is on Fox, and it's at 7 o'clock. We're going to go over the injury report first, then I'm going to go over to my keys to the game and players to watch out for the Houston Texans in this ball game. So here we go. Injury report. There are two players that are out for today. Cameron Johnston, the punter, and we did pick up a punter named Ty Zentler, and he should be punting for the Houston Texans tonight. Roy Lopez, defensive tackle, is questionable with a hamstring injury. Killian Zaire is out with an ankle injury. He's on IR injured reserved. I don't know if these following players are out, but these following players are injured, and I do know some are not playing, but let's go over it. Brandon Hill is dealing with a hamstring injury. He's the 7th round pick we drafted. He is out. Jarrett Patterson, another draft pick that we selected in the 6th or 5th round, he's dealing with a leg injury. He's questionable for week 1 against the Ravens. He's most likely out, but could be playing. Thomas Booker, the 5th, his defensive tackle, is dealing with a wrist injury. He's questionable for tonight. Brevin Jordan, tight end, is dealing with a hamstring injury. He's not going to be playing tonight. Another player that will not be playing today is Christian Kirksey, a linebacker who's dealing with a hamstring injury. And then Dre Ngabalawe, running back, is injury that's undisclosed. I don't know if he's playing today. I don't think so. Jared Dokes, running back, is same thing, undisclosed. I doubt he plays. Maybe he plays today. Charlie Heck, I doubt Charlie Heck plays. Physical. Yeah, he's on IR anyways. He's physical, unable to perform expected return week 4, so he's not going to be playing today. On offensive tackle, Jacoby Francis is dealing with an ankle injury. He's questionable for week 1. We'll see if he plays today. Blake Cashman is dealing with a hamstring injury. I don't think Blake Cashman will play in this ball game. Following players are on IR. Jesse Matthews is out for the season with the ACL injury. Jared Wayne is questionable for tonight. Titus Howard is out. Scott Quisenberry is out for the season. And Troy Harrison, the 2nd fullback, is on IR. C.J. Stroud will be starting tonight for the Houston Texans and be playing in the 3rd and final preseason game. Excited to see what C.J. Stroud does today. I hope he throws his first touchdown pass in the NFL. I know it's preseason, but I'd like to see him get that first touchdown pass, or not even a touchdown pass, which I'd obviously love to see. But how about a touchdown drive? That would be great to see. Love to see what we can see from Will Anderson tonight in his 3rd game in the NFL, even though it is preseason. I'm going to go over the 5 following players I think it's going to be interesting to watch tonight that are guys that could potentially get cut for the Houston Texans. And it could be interesting to watch them play tonight and see if they can make the roster or what might happen to them. Starting off with tight end Keegan Quantanaro, then running back Dre Ngabalawe if he plays. Some wide receivers like Jalen Camp and Johnny Johnson III. It's not that these two guys, Jalen Camp and Johnny Johnson III, are going to be playing for, it's not like they're going to be playing for, a roster spot on the 53-man roster, but they're playing for a practice squad spot for the Houston Texans. And then some guys on the defensive side of the ball. How about some defensive linemen, Kurt Heinisch and Chase Winovich? Some linebackers, Garrett Wallow and Jake Hansen, and even a corner, Shaq Griffin. Those players should be fun to watch for the Texans today to see if they can make the roster for the Houston Texans. We'll see what happens tonight. I think it's going to be a fun night. It'll be interesting to see if Tank Dell hits the field tonight after missing last week's Saturday's game against the Dolphins. I've heard that he is going to play tonight. I've also heard he's not going to play tonight, so we'll see. It's going to be also interesting to see how much CJ plays. It looks like he's played more and more in each game. I doubt that happens tonight. Honestly, I probably see him playing less. I don't think he'll play the whole first half, but at the same time, I also don't think – I think he'll probably play – the whole first quarter and probably half of the second quarter, and that's where you see Davis Mills come in for the Houston Texans in this ball game. It will be interesting to see how long and how good CJ Stroud plays in his third preseason game. I'm hoping he gives us, I'm hoping he shows some better stuff than he did in the first 2 games in the preseason. His first game, he threw 13 passing yards with 1 interception. His second game, he threw for 60 passing yards and had 1 scoring drive. So here's what I'm hoping for from CJ Stroud tonight: no turnovers, more than 73 passing yards, and more than 1 scoring drive. So I'm hoping for 2 scoring drives from CJ Stroud tonight, more than 73 passing yards, and no turnovers from CJ Stroud in his third and final preseason game. I think that would be a great way to get him ready for the regular season. And not only that, but maybe just, completely take this starting job away from Davis Mills. CJ Stroud is definitely the Houston Texans starting quarterback, but it just wonders me, how committed is DeMeco Ryans to CJ Stroud in week 1 if he's still not announced a week 1 starting quarterback? But if CJ Stroud can do those things today, I think he'll most likely definitely be the Houston Texans week 1 starter. I'm excited to see what CJ Stroud does today and excited to see what this whole team does today. I think the Houston Texans will get the win today. It does not matter if you win in preseason, but the Texans are playing their starters while the Saints are. So most likely that means the Texans will most likely probably win this ball game. And if not, it's a little embarrassing. But it is preseason. It doesn't really matter. But at the same time, it's going to be really interesting to watch. What it's really about is trying to, get DeMeco to see what he has in this roster, figure out, this 53-man roster. That's what the third and final preseason game is about. But also, we want to win, and we want to see some good things from some good players too, because there are going to be some starters in this offense. Another guy I really want to see more from is John Mechie at wide receiver, because he's a guy who in the first 2 preseason games has had 2 receptions for 10 receiving yards, but is only targeted twice. I want to see more from John Mechie in his third and final preseason game to get ready for the regular season. But there's so many guys I can talk about. I could probably talk on here for an hour talking about guys I want to see more from on this roster. This is a loaded roster. It's an underrated roster. And I'm excited to see what this Houston Texans team does in the third and final preseason game. I'll be back later for a Houston Texans postgame. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Go Texans. Let's go Texans.